A decision by Governor Roy Cooper ignited a debate. He commuted the sentence for Janet Danahey, a woman who set a deadly fire at UNCG 20 years ago. She is now eligible for parole in less than 2 weeks. That is years ahead of schedule. Some agree with the announcement, others don't. WFMY News 2's Grace Holland talked to one of the victims' fathers about what he wants.
Beth Harris was one of the 4 people killed in a fire Janet Danahey set outside the Campus Walk Apartments in 2002. Beth's father, Bob, tells me he initially agreed with the life sentence she received, but now he's found it in his heart to give forgiveness.
If we are to follow God's word, then Janet should be released.
Bob Harris doesn't consider himself a religious man.
People can change.
But his faith led him to forgive the woman who killed his daughter.
One life-changing event that I've had where I just had to give everything over to God and say, help me, and he did.
Janet Danahey is set to become parole eligible January 1st, 20 years after she started a fire that killed 4 UNCG students, including Beth Harris. Her father says he never got over losing his daughter.
I think about not being able to walk her down the aisle when she gets married. To me, that is one of the most special, singular daddy-daughter moments they can have together, and I don't ever experience that.
Janet Danahey later pled guilty to starting the fire as a prank on an ex-boyfriend. Harris says at the time he agreed with the sentence of life without parole she received.
And there was some anger in me, but I don't know if the anger was at what Janet did or anger because immediately this rush of what am I going to miss in Beth's life that she won't ever fulfill?
But that started to change when he agreed to meet Danahey in prison.
Janet was sobbing and crying, like I said before, handcuffed, and she reached out her hand and said, these are the hands that are responsible for Beth's death.
In conversations with his pastor, he felt led to forgive her.
Janet herself has grown through the past 20 years to do whatever she can to help other people.
He believes her shortened sentence is a step in the right direction.
I hope the parole board will listen to what everybody has to say, not just those for Janet's release, but against Janet's release as well, and that they make the correct decision.
There's still no guarantee that Danahey will ever leave prison. In Greensboro, Grace Holland, WFMY News 2.
We spoke with Danahey's attorney earlier this week. He says he plans to file for a parole hearing on January 2nd.